Good afternoon, dear friends and family. Today, I wanted to get in front of the camera and really express a very important message that is really, really deep in my heart. And I feel it's very important for many others. So today, I really want to share what it is to stand in my naked truth. And even as I speak right now, there's a vulnerability and there's this feeling of discomfort. There's a feeling of not feeling safe. And so I want to be raw. I want to be real, and I want to share what's coming through me right now because I know how important it is for my own evolution, my ascension process, as it is for many others. Because I realize it's very easy for me to hide. It's very easy for me to play small. I'll be virtually honest with myself. It's very easy to stay in this level of comfort. And by coming out in video and sharing this from the rawness of my heart, I know that this is being placed out into light so that it can not only expand and dissolve, but it also gives me the ability to not give so much power toward it. And why I'm saying this is because I realize there's a part of myself that I'm giving power to, this limited area. And it's really phenomenal because, as many of you know, these past couple of days, Honey and I have had some time to ourselves, and really, really personally, for me to go inward to see where is it that I'm not standing in my own naked truth? Where is it that I'm holding myself back? Where is it that I'm limiting myself? And what I'm realizing is that right now there's this limited part of my mind that's saying, okay, if I just have X, Y, and Z planned, if I just have everything planned perfectly from that ego, then everything will be safe. If I have every single thing that I feel comfortable, then I can step forward. Yet I know that's the biggest illusion because when I really tap into my heart, I feel that there is a complete passion to be ready, to stand forward. Nothing has held me back in my life from leaving the East Coast and going to the West Coast to follow my heart and follow my dreams and the expansion of my consciousness and evolution for higher education. Nothing stopped me from leaving everything and going to Mexico and spending 10 years of developing a part of me that I never thought I could possibly do. Nothing stops me from jumping on the largest wave possible and riding it with the fear of if I fall, then there can be devastating. But yet, there's something stopping me now in this feeling of being unsafe. And I think it's really important for me really to call my shit out, so to speak, to see what is happening right now, to come on camera, to come on a live stream and be naked and to speak that truth so that I can not only transform it, but I can bring it to light. I can be real with it. And I just want to start with this feeling of being unsafe. And I find it's perfect timing because, as we know, this is the Lion Gate portal. And for many of you that you know or do not know, this is what I feel is really the time to step as a lion, to step into the empowerment, to step into reclaim our sovereignty. And I recognize if I'm not standing in my power or stepping my truth or really honoring my truth, then I'm not living what I came here to do. I'm not here being an anchor of light. I'm not here providing the highest level of what I want to do because somewhere I'm holding myself back. And what's unfair about that is I realize not only am I holding myself back to myself, but I'm holding myself back to my dearest beloved one. I'm holding myself back to all those that I work in the healing. And I'm holding myself back from my own divine mission. And so today I really just want to jump in directly and look at where this feeling of unsafety comes from. And I maybe not even look at where the feeling of safety is coming from, but what happens when I feel unsafe. And I say this because right now I know that there's a part of me that wants to stand, that wants to rise, that wants to jump, that wants to do so much. And I feel that deep in my heart. Yet there's another part of me that I'm giving my power to that wants to have every single thing in order. And I know that part of me is that ego. It wants to have everything perfect. It wants to look right. It wants to sound right. It wants to appear as if there is nothing, there's nothing wrong, or there's nothing within me that's incorrect. And so I realized that that part is a limitation of myself. It's a false belief. It's an illusion. So why am I giving power to it? Why am I giving this time to limit myself when I want to do so much more? And what I'm sitting with is there's pain underneath. There is hidden energies that I'm still developing through, and I don't really want to go into the whys, the wheres, because that's where the head's going through. Yet there's something that's pulling me, and so I want to come out and express that, so that part of me can no longer be hidden. And I find what's so very, very powerful is when I can express the parts about myself that wants to be hidden, then I'm able to shed light to it. So then it can no longer be a burden to my own self. And I find if I have areas that are hidden within myself, if there are areas that are pulling me and I'm giving power, then I'm not living my divine expression. I'm not living from my divine truth. I'm not living from what I came here to do. So in this feeling, and I just scroll up because I want to thank all those that are with me. Thank you, May. Thank you, Monica. Thank you, Rosalie. Thank you, Maida. Hello, Tracy, Michael White, Maida, Brian. Thank you, everyone, for being here, because this was a spur of the moment. I am definitely honored by my beloved and just having some very deep conversations over the weekend. And really asking myself, why am I myself? Why am I remaining small? And I feel part of it is there's an element within my masculine divine energy that wants to rise, that wants to come out, that wants to take leadership, that wants to share its highest level. So right now, these energies are coming through me to literally put everything that's of non-truth, of everything that is limiting me out, so that I can be cleared and fully evolved. And so as I sit here in my humility, because somewhere this ego and this mind is running the game of, well, how can I express this without feeling insecure? How can I express this without feeling safe? How can I express this without making an ass of myself? So I just have to say F that, because in this expression of it, it's now taking that energy and going into my heart and recognizing in my naked truth that if I'm coming from a place of insecurity, if I'm coming from a place of lack of safety, then I know that the power of my confidence, the power of my courage, the power of my strength is automatically limited, is automatically taken away from. And if I know that I'm here to be an anchor of light, I need to recognize within myself, what is my truth? Where is it that I am lacking? Where is it that I'm holding myself back? And when I just close my eyes and I feel, where is it that I'm holding myself back, is I'm not honoring myself to my fullest. I'm not valuing myself to my fullest. I'm not celebrating myself to my fullest. And I'm not giving myself to the fullest because I'm giving that part of the limitation to me, this energy, which I'm not being of the fullest of heart. And so it's important for me not only to express this now in myself, but also express it to others that may be going through something that their limited part is holding themselves back, especially if there is great service to be done, great work to be done. And I speak a lot within myself, and I really speak a lot to our dear masculine brothers, because I know right now there's a call. There's a call for us sacred divine men to stand up. There are a call for leaders. There's a call for great change, evolution, and ascension that has been happening, that is going forward right now, and we are now being placed each in our own areas to come forward, to come express this, and how important it is for me and for everyone to speak from their divine truth and not allow that limitation. And I know, and as fellow men, that limitation, a lot of it comes from our egos. It comes from looking like everything is going to be, everything is safe, everything is comfortable. We want to come from a place where maybe we want to play it small. We want to take one step at the other. But what I recognize is if we're just taking small steps and we're not taking that big jump, then we're not living in our fullest truth. We're not living in our fullest passion. We're not living from our pure state. And that is really holding back from what we can give to our dear sacred sisters. It holds us back from our dear sacred loves. It holds us back from what we can do on this planet as dear beloveds. And so today, I'm recognizing the truth within myself of where I'm holding back. And I recognize where it is that I'm not celebrating myself, which is preventing me from not celebrate my dearest loved one. I'm recognizing within even being on video, being on camera, maybe for those that are not even on the spiritual journey, of my mind thinking, oh, what is Mike going to say in this opportunity as he's expressing himself on a Facebook Live in a position where literally my discomfort is coming forward. And what I recognize, and with my dear, dear love, and I'm learning, I'm jumping, I'm stepping forward, is in that state of discomfort is the best time to jump forward and make the step. If I can give it as an analogy, when I was growing up, bases loaded, full count, bottom of the ninth inning, and you're up to bat. If I want to play small, I can just look for ball four. If I want to step forward, I can go for the biggest power hit I can possibly go for, the grand slam, the big whammy, so that it allows me to live in my full truth. And that truth is to be of highest healing power, highest service in whatever nature that comes from, not just as a healer, but as a teacher, as a guide, as an individual that is here to demonstrate from my action, to demonstrate from my heart, but most important, to demonstrate from my truth. And that's what today I feel where I'm holding myself back is that feeling of insecurity, that feeling of safety. And so where is it that I need to look deeper in? I feel sometimes when that feeling of inadequacy, that feeling of not being safe, that feeling of discomfort, it's important for me to not only look at that in the eye and not look at it in this maybe soft, lovey-dovey way, but to stand up to it, because that is a bully within me holding me back. And if I'm not standing in my fierce nature to look it straight in the eye and show it has no power with love, with compassion, but a sense of fierceness, then it's going to have power over me. And I know one area that draws the highest, largest passion within me, and that is empowerment, followed by freedom. And I understand that if I'm not being true to myself, if I'm not allowing my full empowerment, if I'm sitting there and not taking that jump, then I'm not being fully transparent. And I'm not able to stand in the fullness of who I am. And it's interesting because I can sit there and I can look at each example of what happens. There's an energy that comes moving forward. There's this feeling that all of a sudden I want to retract. There's a feeling that, okay, I need help. Maybe there's something around me that I need to activate. My mind wants to go to, okay, there's something that needs to be cleared. Is there a fear? Is there a limitation? All these steps that want to come in so that I can take each step and make sure that as I'm doing each step, my mind's giving this program of like, okay, right, 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 right. Now make the step. Yet, I'm fully aware that when we make that leap from our heart, there are no steps. When I come directly from my love, which is very passionate, very strong, and full of so much energy, and there's no more hiding. There's no more limitation. There's no more trying to say it the right way or wrong way. Even with those that I know that are seeing me on video, which has taken me much longer than normal because of my own fear of saying something wrong, my own fear of looking stupid, my own fear for maybe half my Facebook audience that are in a different spiritual alignment saying, what is he speaking about? What is he going to talk about next? Because I never knew this part. Well, unfortunately, fortunately, not unfortunately, there's my ego. Unfortunately, see, I caught myself. My ego wants to say unfortunately. That mind, that limitation wants to say unfortunately. Fortunately, this is what I've transformed into. This is what I'm moving into, what's been part of me, but I've been hiding. And I recognize where that's come from. Even as I speak now, I feel as a child growing up and having a very spiritual, deep family that was here to provide these gifts, I hid because the area that I grew up in, the friends, the support, I knew that I would maybe feel uncomfortable speaking about this. I may feel insecure. I may feel unsafe. And so today, I am now acknowledging that feeling of unsafety. I'm acknowledging that feeling of insecurity. I'm acknowledging that sometimes as a masculine man that wants to look strong, that wants to seem everything is going right, that wants to have everything under its wings so on the outer way, everyone that's viewing me can say he has it together. Yet underneath, I can call my own BS out. I can sit in my naked divine truth. And I can express it. I can express it raw. I can express it real. And I can express it with not worrying what other people think because this is me. And this is my purity. And this is the importance that I feel that it's so powerful to be in our truth, to be in our honesty, to be in our clarity and transparency so that not only I can serve, but others can see, can relate, and can acknowledge that there are limited parts within us. And that when we give that power to our limited parts, what happens? I sure know what happens. I cause frustration, anger, sadness to the closest ones in my heart. It's so interesting because sometimes there's this intention in what my heart's not wanting to create or creating hurt, but yet that intention is being overpowered by a limitation. And it makes me really upset because how can my own intention be distracted by a limitation, a false belief in what I want to bring forward, especially when it is a divine love, when it's someone that I want to celebrate to the highest, when it's someone that I want to hold to the highest. Yet within me, there is this program, there is this mechanism, there is this place that I'm giving my limitation to, that I'm giving my energy to. And what I really want to say about that is it's now time for me to shift that energy because I've learned how easy it is to give that power away to my pain, to my emotions, and especially to this mental ego, which I know we criticize a lot, yet there's still that part that creates humanness. So I have to also give compassion to that ego. Yet in this time where we're standing in our power, standing in our truth, standing in our love, it's for me now to recognize where that power is being used. And for myself, for my others, and for humanity, that we're here to stand in our naked truth, it is really crucial to look at the root of that. Within myself, with others that are going through the same level of what I need to do, what you need to do, what everyone needs to do to make that jump, to make that leap. Because what's funny about it is when I look at where that insecurity, where that safety, where that feeling comes from, I realize it's not true. It's not real. And somewhere it's been taught to me in a program or belief that now not only do I have to dismantle it, but I really have to reprogram it. Today, I want to reprogram it by saying I am safe. I am secure. I am powerful. And I am standing in my naked truth. So I can be of divine service. I can be in divine love with my beloved. And I can be, this is third now, letting all this blockage go. I can be the fullest expression of the light that I am, to be here in this ascension. No matter where this discomfort is coming from right now, I want to transform it. And I want to share that with all of you guys so that it can fully resonate. I'm just checking with what's rolling. So, what I've also recognized within me, and what I also understand is when I'm feeling, when there's a part of me that feels unsafe, when there's a part of me that feels insecure, I'm also aware that it retracts myself and it retracts everything that I offer and give. And I find what's been really interesting, especially with this past week, is where Honey and I have sat with, because this throat wants to close. This area wants to come forward and express. It wants to express the truth. And in this energy that's coming forward now, I know that within this feeling of unsafety, it's also promoted this false illusion of not feeling ready. And by not feeling ready, it has delayed my celebration of love. It has delayed my ability to be what I came here to do. And so I feel that when diving deep inward and taking that time to go within and allowing myself to really see, where is it? What's happening when I'm not being the truth and the fullness of what I'm saying to others? Because I can easily say, I want this, I want this, I want this, I want this. But none of it can fully be real unless I'm taking that step in being it and acting upon it. And most important, expressing it, no matter how uncomfortable it may feel, especially from this throat, especially being on a live video, which sometimes I've only done here or there with Honey, and now this is one of my second ones. So I'm standing in that truth and to look deeply within. I also know when I retract from that energy, it has an equal impact of those that I love most. And how interesting, when in a divine relationship, as the masculine that is here to hold the protection, to hold the safety, to hold the great energy, if that is not being held to its highest level, then I'm not providing that to the one closest to my heart. So there's more things that are coming through, but as you can see, my throat is having a beautiful reaction and sharing all of this. And I just want to thank each of you. I want to read some of these as well to go over what I'm going through right now. Valerie, I understand if the cause station is here. Yes, I agree, Valerie, in the judgment of myself. At the same time, I'm also aware of the gift of gratitude because I know I can put a lot of pressure on myself when we're all going through. So I want to give myself the thankfulness and the gratefulness of what's coming up because that too needs to be released. And I feel right now what's happening personally with me is there's a lot of just old patterns that have been resurfacing, especially for my inner child. This feeling of abandonment, this feeling of fear of loss, this feeling of rejection. So as I go through this, it's important that Valerie, thank you. I don't judge it, but I meet it with truth. I meet it with gratitude, and I meet it with compassion. And what I'm really thankful for is from the bottom of my heart, from the bottom of my heart, it is a gift. It is a gift to move through this discomfort of expressing live of all the things that come up. And this gift, I could not be more blessed by the one that's standing by my side, the one that holds me in great accountability, the one that holds my sacred heart and my sacred love. That gift is you, honey, which I thank, which I honor, which I fully want to celebrate. And the gift as well is to honor each and every one of you that are here and joining us, because to be a full expression of our divine naked truth is to be real. And I understand if I'm not being real and you're not being real and those not being real around us, it doesn't give us the truth. It doesn't give us the ability to share our hearts because we're coming from a falsehood, we're coming from a limitation, we're coming from a fear. And we're not here to live from that. We're here to live from love, to be loved, and not to live from limitation, not to live from fear. Most important, not to live from a place of insecurity or lack of safety. So today in my raw naked truth, I wanted to express, I know my mind kind of went to left field, it goes around, connects the dots and comes back. And I know it's not even the words that may be important, but it's the feeling, and it's the message, and it's the energetic expression of my dedication and my passion to place myself in front and out in divine's eye, in the eye of society. So not only do I take myself accountable, but I'm accountable for all the energies that move through me. And that is the purpose that I want to deliver today's message, because it is just very important to be that divine expression and to fully promote that, be that, allow that, understand that from the fullness of my heart. So I thank each and every one of you guys for hearing me stand in my naked truth. I thank my dear beloved. I just thank this powerful gateway that it is allowing the lion within me to rise and not to stand back anymore, not to live from insecurity, live from a limitation. The more I realize I can bring that into light, then that can expand and dissolve and no longer has a power over me. Because it really is this time to jump, to stand up, and to live what I've always felt in my heart, in true passion, in true excitement, in true power, to bring peace, light, and love through all of us in this beautiful earth. So thank you. Thank you for hearing me stand in my naked divine truth.